Hello everyone, and welcome to another video. So today I decided to go through the books that I would recommend for anyone who's starting their journey in witchcraft. So without further ado, here is the first book. So this is Magical Astrology by Skye Alexander, who's also an author of The Modern Guide to Witchcraft. It is quite a popular book. And this goes deeper into astrology. I'm sure a lot of people who may be interested in witchcraft and paganism have a basic understanding of astrology. And even if you are advanced, I'm sure you can find something in this book that you can basically learn from, or basically widen your knowledge really. It's a great little book. It goes through different days, different planetary positions. It goes through some examples of spell work. Basically it allows you to develop further your understanding of power of the planets in our system and how you can use it for everyday life. It goes into herbs and botanicals, crystals, different gemstones, how they are related to different astrological signs. So yeah, you learn a lot about celestial differences. It's great to further your understanding of astrology, and it has helped me with magic really, because I kind of, how would you put it? As I worked through this book, I was able to learn more and more about how different planetary positions can impact my life on a daily basis. It also taught me how I can kind of make my spell work more effective, and because it all depends on the day and what sort of magic you can perform. So this is actually a really good book for anyone who's interested in maybe astrology and witchcraft, or if you're coming from an astrology background, it helps you to basically kind of link that towards the magical practices. So this is a really good book. The second on my list, boy, it's called Wicca, A Guide to the Solitary Practitioner by Scott Cunningham. Now there's so many reviews online for this book. This is the first book I ever bought when I was curious about starting my journey in witchcraft. It is, for me at least, it was the best book. It goes into great detail into basically Wicca, because that's where I began my journey with Wicca, and then I kind of branched out into different areas of witchcraft. So it's really good to basically use it even as a starting point, even though you may not worship the same deities as basically Wiccans do, or not deities, but same god and goddess basically, because it's quite general, but it's really good for you to have a look through, because it goes through all the basics. It covers seasons, it covers basically all the Sabbats, just covers a great range, including tools, what you need for witchcraft, symbolism, and sort of background on it as well. It's just one of the best books. It's great if you're just starting witchcraft practices, or if you are a Wiccan, or you're looking to get into Wicca. It's just an overall great book to give you a starting point. So I definitely recommend Wicca, A Guide for the Solitary Practitioner by Scott Cunningham. Amazing book, absolutely amazing. Right, another one of my favorites. So this is Candle Magic for Beginners by Mystic Dylan. Now, Mystic Dylan has quite an amazing character. He is just an amazing witch. He's all over social media. He's quite popular, and he's extremely knowledgeable. This book that he published, I pre-ordered it. but I absolutely love it. Even though I'm quite well versed in candle magic, it was just refreshing because you can read so many books on candle magic, and this basically has all of that information condensed into one book. It's extremely good. I'm a huge fan of Mystic Dylan and his work. His Instagram is absolutely amazing. He talks a lot about different practices in witchcraft, and he's just a great character and a great person to follow. And his book is, well, it's just brilliant. It's simple, a quick read, it's to the point. It has a lot of beginner spells for those of you who are beginning their journey in magic. It has a lot of candle symbolism and color symbolism, which is basically very useful just for general witchcraft even. So anyone can learn a lot from this book, and I definitely recommend it. Next on my wish list, it was on my wish list up until I got it, is Living with Wicca, also by Scott Cunningham. Again, another great book full of lots of information. It's how to incorporate magic, deities, and just like your tools for daily living, I guess. It just further develops your practice, or if you're a beginner, it's also a great starting point just to flip through. Because even if I just turn to like a random page, you have like the circle casting, how to basically raise your energy. It goes into like prayers, but I guess chanting. So it offers a lot of in-depth ritual design features. So it helps you to design your own ritual, and it's really good if you're just looking out to start practicing witchcraft actively. So yeah, I would definitely recommend Living with Wicca by Scott Cunningham. So, fifth book. This is quite... I know that lots of people that come into witchcraft, they're quite interested in magical herbs, or they may have a herbology basically background. This is a great book to have for a beginner. It's an encyclopedia of magical herbs, again by Scott Cunningham. It has beautiful illustrations of different herbs, basically how you can use them. It's extremely good because you can find almost anything in here. For example, let's pick a grape. So it has the Latin name for it. It has a beautiful illustration. It says what gender it is associated with, the planets, the element, deities, and powers. So grapes are very known for fertility, garden magic, mental powers, and money. It also says magical uses, so pictures of grapes can be painted onto garden walls to ensure fertility, as it was done in ancient Rome. It's just really great, especially if you're a beginner and you're looking to incorporate some of more simpler herbs and magical, basically, or biological plants and organisms, and it's just a good book. I absolutely enjoy looking through it. You know, it's not just something that you would sit down and read through. It's a little reference book, and in the back I just spotted you have different gender references, so more feminine, masculine herbs, moon, Venus. I mean, any gender that you are, however you identify yourself, I am sure you can find basically different herbs associated to help you in your spell work. And yeah, it's an absolutely wonderful book for anybody that is starting off in witchcraft again. And my sixth and final book is The Ancient Ways. Now, this book was quite hard for me to find initially. I got it further along into my practice, as I've been practicing for 8 years so far, actively at least. It goes through every single Sabbath, every celebration. and the authors give you examples of how it could be celebrated, goes through different basically figures, symbolism, different seasons, and it's absolutely wonderful. It's illustrated, it has amazing pictures, and just the feel of the book. It's extremely valuable to me. And I would definitely recommend anyone who is trying to get into paganism again and witchcraft. It has some recipes, so for example here for lamas, cornbread, whole grain bread. And it also talks about how you can actually do it. You go through all the other equinoxes. I mean, this book is just so much knowledge. And you know, it's not one of these books that you would probably sit down and just read the entire book. It's something I, at least as the Sabbath was approaching, I would turn to the page or towards the season, and then I would have a look, I would read through and get ideas of how I can celebrate it, and look at the history and the stories behind it. So this is extremely valuable. So this is Ancient Ways, Reclaiming Pagan Traditions, written by Pauline Campanelli and illustrated by Dan Campanelli. Absolutely wonderful book for any of you who are interested. Oh, it's just amazing. It really goes into sort of ancient, not rituals, but traditions. And it's a great book for literally anyone who wants to start off in witchcraft, paganism, practicing. Again, you find so many ideas here to celebrate and even further your understanding of the specific equinox or / Sabbath. It's just a great starting point. It is a lovely book. So yeah, again, let's have a look. Oh, I have a huge pile here of books. But yeah, these are my essential basically books that I would recommend any beginner really considering to start off in Wicca or witchcraft or just spirituality and paganism. So thank you again for listening. I hope that you enjoyed the video. Please leave a comment underneath. I'm really looking forward to whenever I get anyone to comment and to talk about, just build a community around this, because I think it's really important to basically stick together. Those of us who do practice similar kind of witchcraft, or people who think alike. So yeah, again, thank you for listening. I hope you're having a lovely day or night wherever you are. And take good care of yourself, and I look forward to seeing you in other videos.